take you back now to Cape Town, where SABC News reporter Lulama Matya joins us now with the latest in terms of the preparations ahead, as she also continues to speak to various cabinet ministers. Lulama, a very good afternoon to you again. I do believe that you will be engaging with the communications minister. Of course, pertinent issues coming from the ground in terms of what South Africans are expecting to hear this evening.
Thank you very much, Unati. I'm joined by the Communications Minister, Malatsi. Welcome to the SABC, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with the bone of contention about the SABC bill for the benefit of those who have missed that.
Yeah, so basically the status with regards to the SABC bill is that you would remember that towards the end of last year I wrote to the Speaker asking her in terms of the National Assembly rules to withdraw that bill, because I had some very serious concerns about those, chief amongst it being the lack of a funding model, the ministerial powers which I found to be excessive for a minister, the appointment of the commercial entity board, and the ball is now in the Speaker's court in order for her to do what the laws of the National Assembly empowered her to do. She's the custodian of the legislature. The legislature has a clear separation from the executive. As the executive, I've done my part in terms of the law. The Speaker now has to decide the next course of action, and we are looking forward to the Speaker formalizing the withdrawal of the bill, because that is the only other avenue that should happen. But we've got an engagement coming up with the Speaker and the Deputy President of the country next week, so we'll see where that outcome goes. But my approach to it is that in terms of the law, I've not acted outside of any law or in violation of any law. And the key thing about this, it's not even about who has powers and who doesn't have powers to. We all want, and particularly me, I'm interested in finding solutions that helps the SABC to be in a stronger position to sustain its future, because we need the public broadcaster to be solid, to be commercially viable, and for it to offer us the compelling content that will keep its audience.
Let's wait then for the outcomes of that engagement. Today's speech from the President, as the Minister of Communications and Digital Technology, what are your expectations that the President should address when it comes to your portfolio?
Yeah, my expectations are particularly around getting more South Africans access to the internet. We've got 25 million South Africans now who do not have access to the internet, and government has identified digital transformation of one of its key priorities, and we can only achieve that if we've got poor black South Africans in rural areas, in townships, in informal settlements having access to the internet so that they can use it productively. It will help improve learning outcomes when more and more students access education online. It will help also with entrepreneurship by driving access to e-commerce activities, so that the majority of internet usage does not get logged into social media. Currently, the highest volume of internet usage or digital activity in South Africa is driven by social media activities. We want to steer that towards e-learning, towards e-commerce, e-banking, and also accessing government services. So I'm looking forward to the President saying something about allocating, resources and unlocking the plans that we have presented to him as solutions to get South Africa to 100% internet connectivity.
I'm sure, Minister, it's not only about infrastructure, but also when it comes to cost accessibility.
Yeah, absolutely, because access is one thing, infrastructure is another. In order for people to remain active and robust on the internet, the cost of data also requires addressing, and it is a permanent conversation that we are having with all the telcos and the network operators, because what we want to do is reduce each and every obstacle that prevents a South African from having access uninterruptedly to the internet, so that if you want to use it for work purposes, for business purposes, for learning purposes, and even for pleasure, you are not intimidated by that. The world is now centered around ICT and the digital economy, and you can imagine the wealth of opportunities, economic opportunities that we can unlock if we get South Africa to 100% internet connectivity.